All right, I'm done with I'm done with this heat, and I'm done with the school right now as well. So I'm heading to Lowe's to go get some moving boxes. But check this out, it's 111 degrees. People that leave their kids in their car, even for half a second, don't do it, okay? I will smash a window if your kid is in that car. It is 111 degrees. It's probably about 105 outside, but it's 111 according to my vehicle. My vehicle has been sitting in a parking lot, and now it's going down 109. This is outrageous. It is so freaking hot here. I can't handle it. All right, I just waited. Freaking, okay. I know it's like, sorry, my backup sensor goes off because my, I just waited 30 minutes for a freaking Frappuccino because, and I know it's bougie and I probably, you know, should just go make my own, that kind of thing. I know, all the virtue signalers are all of you. All right, I'm at McDonald's. Harriet wanted chicken nuggets for lunch, so it's 10:30 and that's when they start serving lunch. I haven't eaten at McDonald's in a really long time. Usually I just use it for the restroom or to get ice cream, but I'm getting a smoothie. I always get smoothies, but I don't ever like eat here. My brother actually managed a McDonald's for like a bunch of years when I was in high school. So I'd always get my Egg McMuffin in the morning for free. Hey, that looks like a cheeseburger. What a funny design. Yeah, they like renovated all these McDonald's to make them all look like super fancy. And then there's never any cashiers. You have to touch the touch screen, which I think is kind of nasty. But they do have stuff in Braille, which is cool. Yeah, they just kind of renovated it. So it's not all like, you know, yellow and red anymore. It's kind of like gray and demure, kind of like outside. It's going to rain today. Okay, I'm done skating. I did 3.5 hours. And now I'm up here where there's like Dolce & Gabbana. Actually, that's the only fancy store. Downstairs, we've got Ferragamo, Bulgari, Louis Vuitton. But up here, we have all the stores from when I was as a teenager, like PacSun, I don't know, All-Star Elite. Yeah, my daughter wants late 90s, early 2000s style, which I think is this kind of style. But she wants like the plaid skirts, that kind of thing. So I've got to go do some shopping with her. Yeah, so let's see. Windsor, they have stuff as well. Okay, so I have to take a bunch of things out of the van. I need to take out my laundry, definitely, because everything's still wet from Angel Fire the other day. Laundry, all of the food. I've got to take out all of the water. I need to put the dehumidifier in, which is in the trunk of my car right now. And that little powerhouse, I mean, man, that thing was $80 from Camping World. And I have warranty on it. I've gone through 3 of them already. And so it's only $11 to replace it, thankfully. So, but it's great. I mean, I have to dump it out every 5 days now when it's the summertime. But it's meant that I've had no mold, no condensation, no moisture, nothing in my van whatsoever the entire time that I've been doing van life, like when it's been home. And then I have all these like charcoal packets. I still haven't done my humidity video, but anyway, the charcoal packets, I've got about 30 of them kind of hidden all over the van and 2 on the dashboard. And I've never had any condensation, no matter what temperature I'm in, even if I'm breathing heavily inside, you know, or if it's cold outside and warm inside. I've never had like any of that buildup of moisture. So I also hate the word moisture or moist. It's horrible. It's like panties. It's horrible. Oh my God, they should be banned. Anyway, but I'm gonna take the toll road. It'll be a quick straight shoot out there. It goes literally out to the road where I go down the toll road and I make a right, and then I'm at the storage unit instead of having to go all the way up into the 10 freeway and all the way across. And then I come back and yeah, I have a couple people picking up some stuff. There's one guy. I have these Converse roller skates, which I love, but they're half a size too big. And I, as an ice skater, my ice skates are molded to my feet. Like they're literally like heat treated and then like molded. So I have to have them pretty tight to my feet. My roller skates, I have 2 pairs of roller skates. They're also like as tight as I can get them on my feet. My rollerblades are a little bit bigger, but because they've got a higher, they're higher up, like they go up to my middle of my calf, it can be a little bit bigger, which is fine. But then I got these Converse roller skates, which I love, but they're just 1/2 size too big. And because they're Converse, they're they're not as sturdy as regular roller skates, and definitely not as plastic, you know, rollerblades. Or leather ice skates. So this guy wanted to buy them, and he's some YouTuber doing some stunt where he gets kicked, and then he's like, do you want to get kicked? I'm like, no. He's like, no, I don't mean like you get kicked, I mean you kick me. I'm like, I don't want to be in your TikTok video. He's like, I'll give you an extra $75. I'm like, maybe, but no. No, I don't. I'm a single mother of one. I do not need to be in somebody's like YouTube or TikTok shorts, kicking somebody. I don't know what he's doing. I told him, and he kept asking me, he's like, well, do you know anyone that can like, it's just this stunt where I just keep getting kicked by people. I'm like, and I guess he's wearing the rollerblades for the dramatic effect of falling. I don't know, but I'm like, dude, can you just buy the roller skates and just piss off? Like, there's a couple people. I had somebody buy all of these rubber ducks one time because she was doing an art car for the Houston Art Car Parade, and she wanted to cover her car in rubber ducks, and I had about, I don't know, maybe about 200 of them. Somehow I acquired a bunch of rubber ducks at some point. I've had a lot of guys, a lot of men who wanted to buy I had like some bras, like when I was pregnant I had like 38 double Ds. Obviously I have nothing now, but I had massive knockers, and I went out and bought a bunch of bras after I had my daughter, but I was breastfeeding, so I just wore sports bras because every 2 seconds I'm having to pull my shirt up, pull my bra down, and like feed my kid. So regular bras with like underwire and like fancy pretty ones from Victoria's Secret, they did not work because everything was either covered in breast milk or oatmeal or baby spew or baby poop, and I'm like, I didn't want to ruin them. So I have all these really nice bras I've never worn, and I was selling them, but I got a bunch of guys that wanted to buy them. Unfortunately, I'm a 34, right? So like 32 to 34, and I had to explain to them like how you measure bra size. Like it's it's the measuring under your underboob is the inches, right? So my torso is 34 or between 32 and 34. I'm not a very large person, right? And then my cup size is like whether it's A, B, C, D, double D, triple H, whatever it is. And so I told the guy, I said, well, he's like, well, do you think they'll look good? I said, I don't know if they'll look good, but you got to measure. I got to teach you how to measure yourself to see if they will fit. Because these guys wanted their like cross-dressing or drag queens. And actually, a lot of my shoes, because I'm size 9, I've sold a lot of heels to local drag queens in Houston. So I had these really cute purple velvet ones. I had like a lot of stripper shoes at some point for no reason other than I really like to wear high heels back when I was working in marketing. So I sold most of my heels to drag queens. But there's a lot of guys that wanted to experiment with wearing bras, and or if they were, they wanted to dress in drag. But I kept telling this one guy, like, he was really built, and I said, I don't think they're gonna fit. Like, you have to measure. So he measured. He goes, oh, I'm like a 42. I was like, okay, so you got a 42 chest, like, and you're like an A cup because you're a guy. I said, they're not gonna fit. So I feel like I'm kind of like the mama bear right now. I'm like, sorry, it's really not gonna fit. I mean, I'm sure they look good. They're really pretty too. They're really high quality. I got like the best bras I could find. I don't even wear them. I've never worn them. Like, I just wear sports bras. I mean, I'm always in workout gear. I wear sports bras 24/7. Like, I don't wear any of that fancy stuff anymore. But then I've got a lot of clothes to give away. I have to be careful because it's between people that are greedy versus needy. And so then I've got camping gear to give away to my hiking group, and they're really great. Those women are great. I'm going to definitely help them out with the nonprofit once we raise some more money, so please donate, because I think there's a lot of opportunities, especially a lot of them are veterans, and a lot are domestic violence survivors, kind of finding their tribe. So I want to really help them a lot. But yeah, no, it's interesting selling on the marketplace. It definitely is a full-time job. And I sold most of my furniture within like a week before I left on this big epic summer trip. So everything's pretty much gone. I've got a few more. I've got like a table that my TV was on. Sold the TV. Table that my TV was on. And then I've got Harriet's furniture, which I've got to sort her room out. But most of that stuff is to be given away. I think I'm just going to take most of the stuff over to the library because they have like children's section. They could use the toys and the books. So I think I'll just probably, that, and there's also the Secret Women's Shelter that helped me out when Harriet and I needed, somewhere safe to go. So the women's shelter downtown I got to take some stuff over there, but I have to make sure that it's okay for me to come by, because they're very protective, obviously. And if you ever see there's a TV show on Netflix called Maid, and Maid really, really hit home in my situation from years ago, and I just was watching it going like, oh my god, like I wasn't a maid, I don't clean, I pay someone to clean, but like I was just like, wow, like I mean, when you see something like art imitating life, but where she stays in her little shelter in that movie, like how in that TV show, how how like protective and secretive, that's kind of how they are here in Houston. Like there's a lot of women's shelters that I work with, I volunteer with, that they're the unmarked building, no address, and I don't obviously post anything ever about like where I go to help these women, because they are in very, very, very dangerous situations, and so I respect the privacy. But they do need things like, especially like all of my marketing clothes, all my like suits and everything, I gave them all to the women's shelter, because they, in case they have to go on job interviews and stuff, and then obviously if they're there for like a year or two, their kids are just going to grow like crazy, and they don't necessarily have the ability, whether financially or safety wise, to be going shopping around the Galleria, so that's why don't donate to the Goodwill, don't give your clothes to thrift stores, give it to women's shelters, because a lot of these women can't even leave to go shopping to get clothes, and that is a massive thing people don't realize. Like, they can't go out, they're terrified, they've left a domestically violent situation, they're waiting for their protective order from the DA, which could take months, they're waiting for their custody hearing, they're waiting to be able to leave Houston, because a lot of times, like, there's a thing called a geographic restriction. Like if you have a custody order, you leave your partner, or you need to get away, you may not be able to actually move away, right? So there's a lot of restrictions. So so it's just basically like, it's weird, there's a speed trap right there. I have not seen a cop on there, and then like my Google map is like, is he still there? I'm like, you bet. He's waiting there, he's on his phone eating a cheeseburger. But anyway, so yeah, that's the thing, like, contact a local like domestic violence organization and say, hey, I've got a bunch of shoes and clothes and kids stuff, do you know where I can give this to women that need it? And then they'll direct you to either drop it off to the organization and they'll take care of it, or they'll say, yeah, you can meet at this Starbucks and you can drop things off. I have a local woman actually that will come pick up clothes for me, that lives down the road, and she takes them to refugees. So her church, I'm not religious or anything, but she's in a church that helps refugees that get placed here in Houston. And so like especially girls that have been like saved from sex trafficking, which is massive in Houston. It's ridiculous. Like there's so much shady shit going on here, like you have no idea. And it's really hard in a state where I don't even have custody rights of my uterus. I only have visitation rights to my own reproductive organs. But anyway, so this woman will come by. I gotta contact her. She'll come by and pick up a bunch of clothes and things for the refugees as well. And so yeah, it's just we just had a hurricane, so I think she's kind of busy right now. But yeah, I mean, I've been very involved with a lot of organizations, with the Red Cross, and I volunteer at Habitat for Humanity at their restore. So I'll work in the stores, and it's great because I'm working with all these different people that are either given a second chance, or they really screwed up their life somehow, or they're on like probation, and sometimes it's just for silly stuff like marijuana is not legal here, so some people just get caught with that, and then it's like a really bad thing in Texas, and then next thing you know, they've got 300 hours of community service, and so then you've got others that were like my friend, wonderful woman, and she was at the Austin restore. She's gone down to a different restore now for Habitat for Humanity, and so I volunteered a couple times with her and her daughter, who was 16 at the time, and I think I talked about this before. But we folded clothes, and I was there for a couple days over Thanksgiving a couple years ago, and I went back the next year and a couple times, and we just kept in touch. And so about a year later, she sends me a text message saying, we listened to everything you said. My daughter joined the military and now she's a soldier, because her daughter didn't really know what she wanted to do. And I said, well, she's like, well, I want to do like communications, or I want to do like you know, something kind of with computers and stuff. I said, well, your mom just got out of prison. So obviously you guys don't really have much money right now to go to college, and you're going to graduate next year. I said jokingly and kind of in a serious way, I said, why don't you join the military? You know, you get an education, you'll get a GI Bill, you can go into college, you get all the training, you get to travel. You know, it's like, and you could be enlisted for a couple years, and you could be out in your mid-20s and then go to college, and you won't ever feel like you're, you know, 'cause some people don't want to join the military right away, so they don't want to be like behind in society, or, you know, it's like, but it could also be a career, and you learn a heck of a lot of stuff, free education in a field that you can use elsewhere. So, and I told her, I said, you know, I joined as a translator, and I've had friends that are still in 20 years later. Some people got out earlier, some people went to war, you know, it's like every job in civilian world is in the military. And I get this text from this woman, and she's like, I'm so proud of my daughter. And then I get another text a couple months later, and she's gone and bought a house, and she's moved down to a different store out in the hill country, and just completely like revamped her life. And she spent 4 years in prison for just trying to feed her family. And she's like, never again. I'm never going to make a mistake. I've turned everything around. And her daughter's in Germany now, as a soldier, like working in communications, like military intelligence, that kind of thing. And I'm so proud of them. I gotta meet up with her. I just, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, I don't, you know, I mean, unless you like murder puppies or people and stuff like that, that's different. But, you know, I know what the system is like. I know how, you know, you can't even, I mean, I know there's like, you know, police officers, like cops, you know, crooks on patrol. Like, there's a lot of bad blood in every aspect of society, especially in the decision makers. And as civilians and as, you know, citizens or residents, you know, sometimes you don't do anything wrong, and suddenly some guy on a power trip is like, you know, messing with your day. I know how it can be for people, and it's just, you know, it happens every day all over the country, and you know, specifically more to different demographic groups than others. And it's really bad because you may not have done anything wrong. You might just be like standing outside a 7-Eleven waiting for an Uber, and next thing you know, you're getting beaten up by a bunch of police officers, and you didn't do anything. And then you've got to like hire a lawyer, and then you've got to like fight, you know. So I know how it is. I mean, there's a lot of bad blood in the world, and you know, some people just get caught up in it, and like with no fault of their own, or they had a good intention that, you know, was actually, you know, ended up being a bad situation. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the point is that, yeah, I got to get rid of a lot of stuff, and I just want to make sure that it goes to the right place. When I give stuff away for free on the marketplace, I get like 300 messages. Everyone's got a sob story about their grandmother, you know, grandmother's dog's cousin's friend needs a new heart transplant, and can I have your free window shades? I'm like, yeah. I mean, if it helps, take it. You know, so, but some people are relentless. They're really like nasty about it. Like, I sell something for $10 and they want, you know, to buy it for $1 and have me drop it off to them on the other side of Houston. I'm like, no. So yeah, the marketplace is exhausting. I step away from it, and then I come back and I'm like, okay, 3 days on the marketplace, and then I got to take a break because it really is a full-time job. So anyway, all right. So let me go out to this van out here. It's so weird. I've got 2 weeks, get out of my apartment, and then I've got the month of September for moving in somewhere else, which will be great. And then the month of September dealing with personal stuff. And then after that, we'll see what happens. I'm not entirely sure. So we need to, just kind of wish me luck, send me good karma, and all your good thoughts, and I guess thoughts and prayers. So, whatever good juju that you emit to others, send it my way. I need every good vibe that I can get. Anyway, okay, so down I go. Got another 27 minutes. Why is it sending me on Grand Parkway? I don't want to be on the Grand Parkway. I'm going all the way down West Park. That's weird. Anyway, all right. Well, I did shower, so that's good. Finally showered. I'm wearing my Uray t-shirt. I have to do that video as well. I'm gonna put that together. That was a fun one. But other than that, yeah. So I will see you guys. Just see you.